Hey guys, welcome to Scotty's shed again. Here I am today, going to start fitting a front end for my Ute, which is my FC Ute, for a red motor. And I want to set up the front end mounts so that the engine sits where I want it to sit, not going by how someone else might have set it up. I've got the FC sitting here. I've actually lifted the front end and bolted it in temporarily, so it's got no components on the outside such as wishbones or stub axles or anything like that. It's just a bare cross member because I'm only worrying about where the engine mount location is. And then once I've welded that on, I've got some cleared areas ready for that to go and be welded on, but I'll just tack those in position, then I can drop the front end out and then I can get to all the welds properly to do the welds efficiently. All right, so there's my Ute. Turn new thing. So there's the Ute. Obviously, this is not a finished product just yet. This is just setting up. Currently, it's turn that way. There's the front end cross member in there. So currently, it's in a position where I'm not ready for it. So plan is. We set this up now, we get these mount locations, then I can pull the front end out, then I can take the subframe off. So I know the front end's going to be correct for the location for the engine, and then once I take the subframe off, I can weld all the holes up, I can check any rusts, I can repair any areas. I've got to repair the areas that had the old V8 pipes through it, and then clean any areas off I don't want. My intention is, so the wiring and all that stuff, that'll all be pulled out. I'm going to start fresh with a new set of wiring. I'm going to be buying a wiring kit which has got labelled wires, all ready to go. It takes a lot of the hassles out of it, and then I'll get all those holes covered up so I can hide the wiring a little bit at least. The same master cylinder and booster, all that stuff staying. And I'll just have to put a master cylinder on there for the clutch, running the 3-speed. The steering column will be different. I'll end up with a box steering. But anyway, so today's task, we'll get this front end set up. So I've got the components sitting here as a dummy. So there's my engine block. So I've borrowed an engine block for now. Hello, Scooby. And I've got an EH sump. So the EH sump works for these conversions. If you don't have an EH sump, you have to cut up a sump. EHs had the same style front end for them, so that they could have the shorter outrigger and the location of the engine mounts. But the only thing downfall with an EH is that they didn't have a ball joint front end. They had a kingpin front end. Hence the reason I'm doing the way I am. I've got a crappy old rocker cover to sit on it so I can get the head clearance at the back. Head, or basically another head just sitting there that I'll just put on temporarily. And then the engine mounts. So I've got the engine mounts that bolt to the block, plus the engine mount brackets which will weld to the front end. So here we go. I'll start putting these things together and I'll start lifting it up to get it in with my engine crane, which is in the background there. Okay, so here we go, let's start. Yeah, okay, so bit of a drama trying to get the gearbox on. So as you can see, I've got the gearbox on there now. The bolts to bolt the gearbox on, the threads needed tapping because they were so weathered and had mud and crap in them. Now I've done that, bolted the gearbox on, I'm about to put the sump on, and then put the mounts on, ready to drop the thing in. Now I've got it nicely balanced on my chain so that I can, that's pretty good angle actually for the engine to sit when I get it in there. So we're pretty right to keep going with this. So you'll see now there'll be more of a video going. But yeah, it's obviously a second-hand block, so it's been sitting upside down or on its ass for so long that it's got shit in all the threads. So that was a pain in the bum. Anyway, next thing is, let's drop her in the hole. Well, that's welded up now, so I got the front end out and welded these mounts on. Job's looking alright. That's what it is. They're not going to fall off. So now the front end's done for the red motor. It's time I'll give that a touch up with paint, give it a bit of a clean up and then touch up with some paint. Then I can rebuild the end of the, so the ends, the wishbones and all that stuff, put the springs in it, shockers, the whole lot. And it's ready to go in the car. So one job out of the way, let's go to the next job. Thanks for watching. Cheers.